Welcome to my channel English Stories Hub. Emma grew up where the land stretched wider than promises, in a small Texas town where pickup trucks outnumbered stoplights and everyone waved even if they didn't know your name. She laughed easily, the kind of laugh that burst out at the wrong times, ha ha ha, loud and unashamed. But lately, that laugh had gone quiet. When her mother passed, the house felt hollow, like it was holding its breath. Emma stayed busy to avoid the silence, packing boxes, fixing what didn't need fixing, telling herself she was fine. One afternoon, tucked inside an old atlas her mother once loved, Emma found a folded note. It mentioned the Lost Canyon Trail, scribbled in a familiar looping handwriting, with a line beneath it, "Some paths only make sense when you walk them alone." Emma swallowed hard. "Ah," she whispered, pressing the paper to her chest. Her mother had always talked about that trail, somewhere out west, a place of red stone and long shadows. 2 weeks later, Emma loaded her car and drove until Texas faded into memory. The road hummed beneath her tires, mile after mile, as if urging her forward. She cried when a song came on the radio, then laughed at herself for crying, wiping her eyes and shaking her head. The journey felt reckless and necessary at the same time. When she reached the canyon, the air smelled different, clean and sharp. The trailhead sign was weathered, letters chipped by sun and time. Emma stood there longer than she meant to, heart thudding, wondering if she was brave or just running away. She stepped onto the path anyway. The canyon wrapped around her in silence, broken only by wind brushing against stone. Each step echoed, and with every echo came memories she hadn't invited. Her mother's voice, her own laughter as a child, arguments that ended without apologies. Tears came fast and messy. She let them fall. No one was there to see. As the sun dipped lower, the trail narrowed. Emma checked her map and frowned. Something felt off. The path split and neither direction looked quite right. She hesitated, feeling that old Texas stubbornness rise up. She chose left. The light faded quicker than she expected. Shadows stretched and the canyon seemed to lean in. Emma's breath shortened. Ha ha ha, she muttered nervously, trying to calm herself. But the sound bounced back strange and thin. She realized then she might be lost. Her phone had no signal. The sky deepened into a bruised purple. Fear crept in, quiet at first, then louder. Emma hugged herself, thinking of her mother's note, the words about walking alone. She took another step forward, even as doubt whispered she should turn back. The canyon didn't answer, and somewhere ahead, unseen, the trail twisted again, waiting to decide what this journey would cost her. Stay with Emma, because the path she chose is about to test everything she believes about morning came softly, light spilling into the canyon like forgiveness. Emma woke curled against a rock wall, stiff and sore, her last memory a mix of fear and exhaustion. For a moment panic surged again, but then she heard birds. Real birds. She laughed, a breathy ha-ha-ha that surprised her. She took stock, limited water, some snacks, and a map that now felt more like a suggestion than a guide. As she walked, the canyon seemed alive. Wind whistled through cracks, sounding almost like voices. Emma shook her head, telling herself grief did strange things. Still, she found herself listening. Around a bend, she spotted footprints, fresh. Relief flooded her so fast her knees wobbled. "Aw, thank you," she whispered, to no one in particular. She followed them until the trail opened into a wide basin, sunlight warming the stone. That's where she met Jack, an older hiker with a sun-beaten face and eyes that looked like they'd seen a lot and survived it anyway. He smiled easily, offered her water without questions. Emma accepted, hands trembling. They walked together for hours. Jack talked about the canyon, how it fooled people, how it gave and took without warning. Emma shared pieces of her story without meaning to. Her voice cracked when she mentioned her mother. Jack listened without fixing anything, and somehow that hurt and healed at the same time. When they stopped to rest, Jack pointed to a narrow trail branching off. "That's the real Lost Canyon Trail," he said. "Not many take it. It changes you." Emma stared at it, heart racing. Part of her wanted safety, the known route out. Another part burned with curiosity and something like hope. She thought of the note again. Alone. Some paths only made sense when you walked them alone. Jack nodded as if he understood her thoughts. "You don't have to go," he said. "But if you do, don't rush it." She thanked him, voice thick, and watched as he turned back toward the main trail. Emma stood there long after he disappeared, tears slipping down her cheeks. Weeping quietly, she felt the weight of choice settle on her shoulders. Finally, she stepped onto the narrow path. The canyon walls closed in, colors deepening, reds and golds glowing like embers. Every step felt deliberate, every sound felt louder. Memories surfaced again, but this time they didn't sting as sharply. She smiled at one, then laughed at another, even as tears followed. Grief and love tangled together, inseparable. As the trail climbed higher, Emma sensed something shifting inside her. The canyon wasn't just a place, it was a conversation, and she was finally listening. Ahead, the path vanished into shadow once more, and just when she thought she understood where it was leading, the canyon prepared to reveal a truth Emma wasn't ready for yet. The trail ended at a ledge overlooking a vast drop, the canyon opening wide and endless. Emma's breath caught. The view was terrifying and beautiful, the kind that made you feel small and important at the same time. She sat down, legs dangling carefully, heart pounding. Wind rushed past, carrying dust and something like whispers. Emma closed her eyes, letting the sound wash over her. Tears came again, heavier this time. She didn't fight them. "I don't know how to do this without you," she said aloud, voice breaking. The canyon offered no reply, but somehow that felt right. She laughed weakly through tears, ha ha ha, because crying and laughing had always lived close together for her. Time stretched. Emma thought about home, about the quiet house, about all the things left unsaid. She realized she'd been carrying guilt like a second pack, heavy and unnecessary. Her mother had known she was loved. Emma knew that now. As the sun began to set, the canyon glowed, colors deepening until it felt unreal. Emma stood, wiping her face, breathing in the moment. Something loosened inside her chest. "Ah," she murmured, a soft sound of release. She noticed a marker near the ledge, nearly hidden. An inscription read, "Lost is not the same as gone." Emma traced the words with her fingers, feeling them settle deep. The way back felt different, lighter. The trail no longer seemed hostile. It guided her, steady and sure. When darkness fell, it didn't scare her the same way. She trusted the path now. By the time she reached the main trail, stars filled the sky. Emma laughed out loud, spinning once just because she could. The canyon echoed her joy back to her, and for the first time in a long while, she felt whole. But the journey wasn't over yet. One final step remained, one that would decide how this story truly ended. Emma emerged from the canyon at dawn, dust-covered and exhausted but smiling. The trailhead sign looked different now, less like a warning and more like a promise kept. She drove back toward Texas slowly, stopping often, letting the world meet her where she was. When she reached home, the house still felt quiet but no longer empty. She unpacked the note and placed it by the window. Life didn't magically fix itself. Emma still had hard days. She still cried, but she laughed more too. Genuine laughter, the kind that surprised her. Ha 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 echoed through the house sometimes, and she liked that. The canyon stayed with her, not as a place she'd left behind, but as something she carried forward. And whenever she felt lost again, she remembered the trail, and she kept walking. Because some stories don't end when you leave the path, they begin there. Moral of the story, sometimes getting lost helps us release the pain we've been carrying and shows us how strong we really are. Healing begins when we stop running from our grief and choose to keep moving forward. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and like, comment on my video. Bye guys.